Welcome to the Wealth Wisdom, where knowledge becomes power and power builds your future.
Shares of Rigetti Computing, RGTI, IONQ, and several other quantum computing companies experienced a steep decline of over 40% on Wednesday. The sharp sell-off came after NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang made a striking statement during a discussion with Wall Street analysts. Huang suggested that the development of highly practical and impactful quantum computers may still be as far as 2 decades away. This comment sent ripples across the quantum computing sector, shaking investor confidence and raising questions about the timeline for realizing the full potential of this cutting-edge technology. Quantum computing has been hailed as the future of technology, the next big leap that could revolutionize industries from healthcare to finance to artificial intelligence. These machines promise to solve problems that even the most powerful supercomputers today can't touch, leveraging the strange and mind-bending laws of quantum physics. Companies like Rigetti Computing and IONQ have been at the forefront of this technological race, attracting attention and millions in investment as they work to turn the dream of quantum computing into reality. But here's the twist. This week, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, a pioneer in AI and one of tech's most respected voices, made a bold statement. He said useful quantum computing is still decades away. That one statement sent shockwaves through the quantum computing sector. Stocks for players like Rigetti and IONQ plunged as investors reeled from the implications of his remarks. What does this mean for quantum computing as an industry? Is this a wake-up call to recalibrate expectations, or simply a reality check on the steep road ahead? And most importantly, if you're an investor, what does this mean for your portfolio and the future of these once promising quantum companies? In this video, we break down what Huang really meant, the current state of quantum computing, and what's next for companies like Rigetti and IONQ. Are these stocks a lost cause, or is this just a temporary stumble in a much longer journey? Shares in the quantum computing sector took a massive hit, with Rigetti Computing dropping over 49% and IONQ down 47%. Other players weren't spared either. DWAVE Quantum saw a decline of 48%, while Quantum Computing Inc. plummeted by an even steeper 50%. The entire industry reeled in the aftermath of NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's remarks, raising concerns about the future prospects of these quantum pioneers. During the annual CES trade show in Las Vegas, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang shared his thoughts on the timeline for quantum computing. When responding to a question from analyst Mark Leposis, Huang pointed out that quantum computing can't solve every problem, a sobering reminder that the technology has its limitations and isn't a universal solution. Huang further elaborated on the timeline for achieving impactful quantum computing. He stated that if someone predicted 15 years for very useful quantum computers, that would be on the early side. If they said 30, it would be on the late side. But picking 20 years seems reasonable. This candid assessment tempers expectations and underscores the long and uncertain road ahead for quantum computing. Quantum computing stocks have been on a remarkable rally in late November and throughout December, as growing optimism and rapid technological developments fueled expectations. that the quantum era might arrive sooner than anticipated. Investors were energized by breakthroughs and high-profile announcements. In November, Amazon launched a quantum computing advisory program through WAS, designed to help cloud customers prepare for quantum computing. Around the same time, IONQ announced it had successfully integrated NVIDIA's quantum computing developer kit with its hardware. Meanwhile, Quantum Computing Inc. reported receiving advanced chips for pushing forward its quantum software solutions. These developments contributed to a wave of enthusiasm, pushing quantum stocks higher as investors bet on an accelerating timeline. However, as recent events have shown, the road to realizing quantum computing's full potential may still be longer and more uncertain than hoped. The industry received significant validation from the U.S. government late last year. On December 3rd, bipartisan senators introduced a bill to reauthorize the 2018 National Quantum Initiative Act, pledging to $0.7 billion in funding for quantum research focused on practical applications. Just days later, on December 9th, Google unveiled a new quantum chip called Willow, claiming breakthroughs in power efficiency and error reduction to major challenges in quantum computing. Even after the steep sell-off, quantum stocks delivered staggering returns over the past 6 months. Quantum Computing Inc. remains up nearly 1,400%, RGTI over 850%, DWAVE up 360%, and IONQ up to 165% over the same period, despite recent turbulence. These dramatic gains reflect the enormous long-term optimism surrounding quantum technology. Despite his cautious outlook, Huang emphasized NVIDIA's commitment to supporting quantum innovation. NVIDIA is collaborating with nearly every major quantum computing company. In 2022, NVIDIA expanded its CUDA software platform to quantum developers, helping build hybrid quantum classical workflows, widely considered the most realistic near-term path for useful quantum computing. CUDA Quantum allows algorithms to run efficiently across both classical GPS and emerging quantum processors. NVIDIA also developed its QODA Quantum SDK for simulating quantum circuits on classical hardware, a critical tool given the limited access to real quantum machines. From an investor's perspective, NVIDIA's involvement positions it as a major enabler of the quantum ecosystem, without taking on the high risks of building quantum hardware itself. Huang emphasized that classical accelerated computing remains NVIDIA's priority. Classical systems are essential for quantum error correction, one of the biggest challenges in the field. Quantum bits are fragile and prone to errors, and correcting these errors requires massive computational power, where NVIDIA's GPS excel. By focusing on hybrid computing, NVIDIA ensures classical systems remain fast and efficient, supporting the quantum sector as it matures. This balanced approach keeps NVIDIA leading in AI while playing a critical role in quantum's long-term future. As we've seen, the quantum computing industry is facing turbulence after Huang's bold statement. But this is far from the end. While it may take decades for quantum computers to become truly useful, NVIDIA's strategic involvement guarantees it will remain a key player. Companies like RGTI, IONQ, and DWAVE have seen huge returns recently, But volatility is expected as the technology evolves. Whether you're an investor or a tech enthusiast, it's clear that quantum computing will remain a sector to watch.